93% of communication is nonverbal. That's right. Before you even open your mouth, you're already telling a story. But here's the million-dollar question. What story are you telling? By the end of this video, you'll have 10 powerful, sometimes unexpected tools to captivate and connect with anyone you meet. We're talking about the kind of presence that turns heads, commands respect, and leaves people thinking about you long after you've left the room. And the best part? You won't have to say a single word. These aren't just nice-to-have skills. They're essential for anyone looking to level up their personal and professional life. Miss out on mastering these cues, and you might as well be invisible in a world that's constantly judging based on first impressions. But here's the kicker. Most people never learn these secrets. They stumble through life, wondering why they're constantly overlooked or underestimated. Not you, though. Not after today. So, are you ready to unlock the hidden language of nonverbal communication? Let's dive in and discover the 10 nonverbal cues that will make you unforgettable. Let's start with a classic move that's been used by royalty and celebrities for centuries, the wave. But we're not talking about any old wave here. We're talking about the royal wave. Now, forget everything you know about waving. You know that enthusiastic, full-arm wave you do when you see a friend across the street. Yeah, that's not what we're going for here. The royal wave is all about subtlety and elegance. Here's how you do it. Instead of moving your entire arm, focus on a gentle rotation of your wrist. It's almost like you're screwing in a light bulb, but with the utmost grace. Your fingers should be together, slightly curved, and your palm should face outward. The key is to keep your movements slow and controlled. This isn't a frantic, help me, I'm drowning kind of wave. It's a, I acknowledge your presence, and I'm utterly unruffled by it kind of wave. Use this when you're acknowledging someone across a room or when you're making an entrance. Trust me, people will notice. They might not be able to put their finger on why, but they'll definitely remember you. And here's a little secret. This wave isn't just for greeting. Use it when you're speaking to emphasize a point. That subtle wrist rotation can add a touch of elegance to your gestures that will have people hanging on your every word. Remember, ladies, it's not about the size of the movement. It's about the intention behind it. Master the royal wave, and you'll exude an air of quiet confidence that's impossible to ignore. Now, let's move on to something that might sound a little, well, wild at first. But stick with me, because this next technique is a game changer. I call it the owl eyes. Picture an owl for a moment. What's the first thing that comes to mind? Those big, captivating eyes, right? Well, we're going to channel that owl energy to make an unforgettable first impression. Here's how it works. When you're meeting someone new, or when you want to show genuine interest in what someone's saying, slightly widen your eyes. And, I mean slightly, we're not going for a deer in headlights look here. It's more of a subtle lift of your eyebrows and an opening of your eyes that's just noticeable enough to make an impact. Why does this work? Well, there's actually some fascinating science behind it. When we're interested or excited about something, our pupils naturally dilate and our eyes widen. By consciously widening your eyes, you're mimicking this natural response, which subconsciously signals to the other person that you find them utterly fascinating. But here's where we take it up a notch. Combine this subtle eye widening with a slight tilt of your head. I'm talking maybe 15 degrees to one side. This head tilt is a universal sign of attentiveness and curiosity. It's like you're quite literally tilting your ear towards them to catch every word. Now, I know what you're thinking. Won't I look like a confused puppy? Trust me, when done right, this combination is incredibly powerful. It makes your eyes appear larger and more captivating, while also conveying a sense of genuine interest and engagement. The key is to practice this in the mirror until it feels natural. You don't want to be thinking about your eye muscles mid-conversation. It should feel as natural as a smile. Use this technique when you're being introduced to someone important, or when you're in a situation where you really want to show that you're paying attention. It's particularly effective in one-on-one conversations or small group settings. Remember, the eyes are the windows to the soul, and with this technique, you're essentially throwing those windows wide open. It's an invitation for connection, a nonverbal way of saying, I see you, and I'm genuinely interested in what you have to say. Master the owl eyes, and you'll find people opening up to you in ways they never have before. It's like having a superpower that makes everyone feel like the most important person in the room. All right, ladies, it's time to channel your inner chameleon with our next technique, the mirroring technique. Now, before you start having flashbacks to that awkward game of copycat from elementary school, let me assure you, this is much more subtle and infinitely more powerful. The mirroring technique is all about creating a subconscious bond with the person you're interacting with. It's based on the psychological principle that we like people who are like us. By subtly matching the body language of the person you're talking to, you create a sense of rapport and understanding that goes beyond words. Here's how it works. Pay close attention to the person you're interacting with. Notice their posture, the way they gesture, even the pace and tone of their speech. Then, ever so subtly, begin to adopt similar mannerisms. If they're leaning back in their chair, gradually ease back in yours. If they're speaking with their hands, incorporate some hand gestures into your own speech. If they're speaking slowly and thoughtfully, match their pace. But here's the crucial part, and I can't stress this enough, you're not mimicking them. This isn't about being a mirror image. It's about creating a sense of harmony in your interaction. Think of it like a dance where you're following their lead, but still maintaining your own style. The key is to be subtle and natural. If they notice you're copying them, the spell is broken. But when done right, this technique creates a powerful subconscious connection. The person you're talking to will feel a sense of ease and understanding with you without knowing exactly why. Now let me share a personal experience. I once used this technique during a job interview, and it was like magic. The interviewer had a very calm, measured way of speaking, with lots of thoughtful pauses. I matched her energy, taking my time with my responses and incorporating similar pauses. By the end of the interview, we had built a fantastic connection. Needless to say, I got the job. But here's a word of caution. Use this technique responsibly. It's not about manipulating people, it's about creating genuine connections, and always be ready to break the mirror if the other person's body language turns negative. You don't want a mirror crossed arms or a frown. Practice this technique in low-stakes situations first. Try it out with friends or family members and see how it affects your interactions. Once you've mastered it, you'll have a powerful tool for building instant rapport with anyone you meet. Remember, the goal isn't to lose yourself in becoming like the other person. It's about creating a bridge of understanding, a non-verbal way of saying, we're on the same wavelength. Master the art of mirroring, and you'll find people inexplicably drawn to you, feeling like they've known you for years after just one conversation. Now let's talk about a move that's so simple, yet so powerful, the attentive lean. This is all about showing genuine interest and engagement in a way that draws people in and makes them feel heard. Here's the scoop. When you're in a conversation, especially one where the other person is sharing something important, lean in slightly. I'm not talking about invading their personal space here. We're not going for a close talker vibe. It's more of a subtle incline of your upper body towards the person speaking. Why does this work? Well, it's all about non-verbal communication. By leaning in, you're physically demonstrating your interest and attention. It's like your body is saying, I'm completely focused on you right now. But here's where we take it to the next level. Combine this lean with steady eye contact and an occasional nod. This trifecta of nonverbal cues creates a powerful message of attentiveness and understanding. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking, but I don't want to come across as too eager or intense. Don't worry, that's where the subtlety comes in. The key is to keep it natural and relaxed. You're not lunging across the table, you're just slightly reducing the space between you and the speaker. Here's a pro tip. This technique is especially powerful when combined with active listening. As you lean in, really focus on what the other person is saying. Ask thoughtful follow-up questions. Show that you're not just physically present, but mentally engaged as well. Use the attentive lean in any situation where you want to show you're fully present and interested. It's great for one-on-one conversations, job interviews, or anytime you want to make someone feel truly heard. But remember, like all these techniques, authenticity is key. Don't force it if it doesn't feel natural. The goal is to enhance your natural rapport building skills, not to make you feel uncomfortable or inauthentic. Master the attentive lean, and you'll find people opening up to you more, sharing deeper insights, and remembering their interactions with you long after the conversation ends. It's a simple yet powerful way to show that when someone is talking to you, they have your full, undivided attention. All right, ladies, it's time to talk about something we often overlook: our hands. Believe it or not, your hands can be one of your most powerful tools in nonverbal communication. Welcome to the art of the poised hands. Now, I know what you're thinking. What's the big deal about hands? Well, let me tell you, your hands can speak volumes about your confidence, honesty, and openness. And mastering the art of hand gestures can take your presence to a whole new level. Here's the deal. Keep your hands visible and use open palm gestures. It might sound simple, but it's incredibly effective. When your hands are visible, it subconsciously signals to others that you have nothing to hide. It's a non-verbal way of saying I'm open, honest, and transparent. But here's where we level up. Use your hands to emphasize your points, but keep your movements controlled and purposeful. Think of your hands as paintbrushes, and your words as the paint. Your hand movements should illustrate and enhance what you're saying, not distract from it. Now let's talk about what not to do. Avoid fidgeting, playing with your hair, or crossing your arms. These behaviors can make you appear nervous, closed off, or defensive. Instead, aim for calm, open gestures that invite connection. Here's a personal tip I've found incredibly effective. When you're not actively gesturing, try resting your hands lightly on the table in front of you, fingers softly interlaced. This pose exudes confidence and poise, while still keeping your hands visible and relaxed. But don't just take my word for it. Studies have shown that speakers who use hand gestures are perceived as more confident, warm, and agreeable than those who keep their hands still. Plus, using hand gestures can actually help you think more clearly and speak more fluently. Now, I know some of you might be thinking, but I talk with my hands all the time. Isn't that too much? Not necessarily. The key is to make your gestures intentional and meaningful. Think quality over quantity. A few well-timed, purposeful hand movements can be far more impactful than constant, aimless gesticulation. Here's a challenge for you. Next time you're in a conversation, pay attention to what your hands are doing. Are they hidden under the table, fiddling with your jewelry? Or are they visible, open, and enhancing your words? Just being aware of your hand movements can make a huge difference in how you're perceived. Remember, your hands are tools of expression. Use them wisely, and they can add depth, emphasis, and authenticity to your communication. Master the art of poised hands, and you'll find yourself commanding attention and building trust in any interaction. Ladies, it's time to unlock the power of your eyes. We're diving into a technique I like to call the magnetic gaze. This isn't just about making eye contact. It's about creating a connection so powerful, so magnetic, that people are drawn to you like moths to a flame. Here's the secret. Maintain eye contact for about 60-70% of the conversation. Now, I know that might sound like a lot, especially if you're not used to it, but trust me, this is where the magic happens. But here's where we take it to the next level. Instead of just staring into their eyes, which, let's be honest, can get a bit intense, try this. Look at their eyes, then briefly glance at their mouth, then back to their eyes. This creates a triangle of connection that's subtle, yet incredibly powerful. Why does this work? Well, maintaining eye contact shows confidence and interest. It says, I'm fully present in this conversation. But the brief glance to the mouth adds a touch of intimacy. It's like you're hanging on their every word. Now let me be clear. We're not talking about a creepy stare down here. The key is to keep it natural and rhythmic. Think of it like a dance. You're leading with your eyes, creating a flow of connection. Here's a little trick I use. If direct eye contact feels too intense, try looking at the spot right between their eyes. They won't be able to tell the difference, but it might help you feel more comfortable as you build up your confidence. Master the magnetic gaze, and you'll find people drawn to you like moths to a flame. It's that powerful. Now, let's talk about something that can be a game changer when used correctly: the strategic touch. This is a powerful tool in your nonverbal arsenal, but it requires finesse and sensitivity. Here's how it works. During a conversation, a light touch on the upper arm can create an instant connection. We're talking a brief, gentle touch, nothing lingering or invasive. The key word here is strategic. This isn't something you do constantly. Use it sparingly and appropriately to build rapport. It's perfect for emphasizing a point, expressing empathy, or congratulating someone. Why does this work? Touch releases oxytocin, often called the bonding hormone. It can increase feelings of warmth and connection. But, and this is crucial, it has to be welcome and appropriate to the situation. Here's where you need to be careful. Always be aware of cultural differences and personal boundaries. Some people are more comfortable with touch than others. If you sense any discomfort, skip the touch and stick to other nonverbal cues. A pro tip: in professional settings, stick to touches that would be appropriate for both genders. A light touch on the upper arm, or a handshake, is usually safe. Anything more intimate should be reserved for close personal relationships. When used correctly, the strategic touch can create a sense of connection and trust that words alone can't achieve. It's like adding an exclamation point to your nonverbal communication. Ladies, it's time to talk about your walk. Because let me tell you, the way you move through a room speaks volumes before you even reach your destination. Enter the confident stride. Here's the secret: walk with purpose. Take slightly longer strides than you normally would. It's not about speed, it's about intention. Every step should say, I know where I'm going and I'm excited to get there. Now let's talk posture. Keep your head up and your shoulders relaxed. Imagine a string pulling you up from the crown of your head. It instantly elongates your body and exudes confidence. But here's the game changer. Swing your arms naturally as you walk. It's a subtle movement that adds dynamism to your stride. Think of it as the rhythm to your walk's melody. Why does this work? The Confident Stride projects self-assurance and purpose. It tells the world that you're comfortable in your own skin and ready to take on whatever comes your way. Here's a little insider tip. Before you enter a room or start an important walk, like down the aisle or into an interview, take a deep breath and set your intention. Visualize yourself gliding through the space with grace and confidence. Then make it happen. Practice. The Confident Stride, every day, even when no one's watching. Soon it'll become second nature, and you'll find yourself commanding attention wherever you go. Now we're about to dive into the power pose. This isn't just about looking confident, it's about feeling confident from the inside out. Here's how it works. Stand tall with your shoulders back and your feet hip-width apart. Now, place your hands on your hips, just like Wonder Woman. Feel that surge of power. That's what we're going for. The key is to take up space. Spread your arms wide or place them on a table, leaning forward slightly. Now here's the really cool part. Studies have shown that holding a power pose for just 2 minutes can actually increase your testosterone levels and decrease your cortisol levels. In other words, it not only makes you look more confident, it actually makes you feel more confident. But remember, context is key. You might not want to strike a full Wonder Woman pose in the middle of a business meeting. Instead, try a subtle version. Stand tall, keep your shoulders back, and imagine your feet firmly rooted to the ground. Here is a pro tip. Use the power pose before entering high-stress situations. Have a big presentation, strike a pose in the bathroom mirror beforehand. Nervous about a first date? Take a moment to power pose before leaving the house. The power pose is like your own personal confidence boost button. Use it wisely and watch how it transforms not just how others see you, but how you see yourself. Last, but certainly not least, let's talk about the power of a smile. But not just any smile. We're talking about the Mona Lisa smile. This is the secret weapon of charismatic people everywhere. Here's the deal. A full-on grin isn't always appropriate, and a blank face can make you seem unapproachable. The Mona Lisa smile is your perfect middle ground. It's a slight, mysterious smile that conveys warmth and intrigue. To master this, think about something that genuinely makes you happy, but not laugh out loud happy. You're aiming for a gentle upturn of the lips, with your eyes slightly crinkled at the corners. It's subtle yet magnetic. Why does this work? The Mona Lisa smile creates an approachable yet enigmatic aura. It makes people want to know more about you. It says, I'm friendly, but I've also got depth. Here's a little trick. Practice in the mirror. Find that sweet spot between a full smile and a neutral expression. Once you've got it, try holding it for different lengths of time. A fleeting Mona Lisa smile can be just as powerful as a prolonged one. The beauty of the Mona Lisa smile is its versatility. Use it when entering a room, during a conversation, or when you catch someone's eye across the room. It's like a nonverbal hello that invites connection. Remember, the key is authenticity. This isn't about plastering on a fake smile. It's about finding that genuine warmth within you and letting it shine through in a subtle, intriguing way. Ladies, we've covered a lot of ground, haven't we? Let's do a quick recap of our 10 powerful nonverbal cues. The royal wave, subtle wrist rotation for elegant acknowledgement. The owl eyes, slightly widened eyes to show interest. The mirroring technique, subtly matching others' body language. The attentive lean, leaning in slightly to show engagement. The poised hands, keeping hands visible and using open palm gestures. The magnetic gaze, maintaining eye contact with the triangle technique. The strategic touch, light touches to build rapport. The confident stride, walking with purpose and intention. The power pose, standing tall and taking up space. The Mona Lisa smile, a subtle, intriguing smile. There you have it, ladies. 10 powerful tools to add to your non-verbal communication arsenal. Remember, mastering these techniques takes practice. Don't be afraid to try them out in low-stakes situations first. The mirror is your best friend here. As you incorporate these cues into your daily life, you'll start to notice a shift. People will be drawn to you without knowing why. You'll exude a quiet confidence that's magnetic. And the best part, you'll feel it too. So here's your homework. Choose one of these techniques and practice it every day for a week. See how it changes your interactions and, more importantly, how it changes how you feel about yourself. Remember, true beauty and magnetism come from within. These nonverbal cues are just ways to let your inner light shine even brighter. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. And leave a comment letting me know which of these techniques you're most excited to try out. Until next time, keep shining, keep growing, and never underestimate the power of what you can say without words. Bye for now.